Hey everybody, it's Terry back again with Crafty Book Nerd, and this is the second video for the books that I read in July. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the challenge that I did called Ketchup A Thon Build Your Own Sundae that was done by Krista at BooksandJams, and I'll link her channel so that you can see what she did for Ketchup A Thon. This is one of the first challenges I've been involved in, and I really enjoyed it. But first, you know what time it is. Time for our quote of the day. And today's quote is quite simple. A book a day keeps the stupidity away. I like that. Okay, so what you had to do for Ketchup A Thon was there were some different prompts, and this lasted from July 9th to the 23rd, and I'm happy to report that I was able to read 6 prompts, so I thought that was really good. And this was the Build Your Own Sundae edition, and what you were supposed to do is focus on your book of the months. It was to try to catch up on your book of the months. If you didn't have a book of the month subscription, then you could just use it as catching up on anything that was on your TBR. I used it for book of the month. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the different prompts, tell you the book I read for it, give a little review of that book, and then at the end I'm going to show you my sundae that I built. So the first thing is your container. You had to decide what kind of container you were going to have. And if you remember when I posted the video about this challenge, I told you that I wanted a lot of ice cream. And so I picked a waffle bowl. And the waffle bowl was the newest book of your book of the month. And for that one, I read Dark Corners by Megan Golden. I loved Night Swim by her. And so I knew that I would enjoy this one. It's where we're continuing to follow Rachel, who is a podcaster. And in this story, she is asked by the FBI to help locate a popular influencer, Madison, who isn't what she seems and has disappeared after visiting an inmate in prison. So Rachel goes undercover and to try to find out what has happened to Madison. And she discovers that a lot of other girls have also gone missing. And so she becomes involved in wanting to find out what happened to these girls. It was a very thrilling ride. I liked the podcast element to it. There were subtle hints given along the way to help you figure out who is innocent, who is guilty. It was a page turner full of twists and turns and had a very surprising ending. And I gave Dark Corners 4 stars. And that built my waffle bowl. So that's the first one. The next prompt was your ice cream. What kind of ice cream? You could do vanilla, chocolate, or a twist. I wanted both, so I decided to do a twist. And the twist was a new to you author. And for that, I picked Ink Bone Sister Scribe by Emma Torres. For this one, Ink Blood Sister Scribe. I love the cover of this one. This is a debut novel. Also a new to me author, somebody that I've never read before. It's about 2 estranged half-sisters who have been entrusted with guarding magical books. They have to come together and they discover lots of secrets, and they're trying to find the truth. It's about love, it's about family, it's about betrayal, secrets, and I really enjoyed it. At a few times during the book, it was a little slow, and at times I was a little bit confused, and I was hoping for a little bit more magic than was actually in the book, but overall I enjoyed it, and I gave it 4 stars, and that was my new to you author, which added the chocolate and vanilla ice cream to my waffle bowl. The next prompt was a sauce. And for this one, I did 2 prompts because I couldn't be happy with just 1 sauce. I wanted 2. So the first one I decided to do was a dark cover, and that's hot fudge. So I get hot fudge on my ice cream, and I love hot fudge on my ice cream. And for that prompt, I read She Started It by Stan Gilbert. Y'all, once I read the premise of this book, I was hooked. I was hooked. I'm going to see if this was the one. Yeah, I love this first line. I got to read this to you. There's only the bride waiting for me, and she's covered in blood. Oh, yeah, I'm in, all in. This was a roller coaster full of surprises, and the ending was like, what? One of those kind of moments for me. So it's about four friends from high school and a girl that was an outcast at their high school. And these four friends gave this outcast girl hell. Polly was the outcast. And 10 years later, each of the other four girls receive an invitation to be a bridesmaid in Polly's wedding. Well, they think that's pretty suspicious because they've not really been in contact with Polly. They gave her hell in high school. Why would she want them to be a bridesmaid? But hey, it's a party in the Caribbean and all expenses are paid. Why not go? Okay? Yeah, I would go too. So the four friends are leery, but they can't resist. So they go on this trip. And the story is told from each character's perspective. So we get to see what each character is feeling. We reminisce with them about things they did to Polly when they were in school. And so that's really, I really like the different viewpoints in the story. And Polly has planned out activities for every day. She's got them doing all kinds of stuff. And as each day goes by and we get the different perspectives, we learn more and more about the four friends. We learn more about Polly, and things seem to be going okay. And then something happens and they take a turn for the worst. So you got to figure out what is the big secret, who did what to whom. Okay, I read this book in less than one day. I could not put it down. I had to find out what was going on, and there were so many different secrets coming out, and things were entwining with each other, and it was really good. I did figure out the last reveal before the end of the book, and I was happy that I kind of figured it out. You know, that's what I try to do when I read these books. But if you like books about friendships and revenge and lots of plot twists, this book's for you. I gave it 5 stars. It did not read like a debut thriller to me. It was good. And so that gives me hot fudge on my ice cream. The other sauce that I decided to do was strawberry. Strawberry was a book with a colorful cover. And y'all, look at this cover, The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. I love this color because, of course, look at it. It's all books. It's books. So I love it. So I read this one for my strawberry. This book definitely gave me Willy Wonka vibes because it is about a game. It's about Lucy, a teacher, who says that she read this certain book that saved her life. And she wants to adopt a young boy, Christopher, but it's going to cost some money. And she does not have a lot of money. And so she finds out about this contest that this writer is having. And he is the one who wrote the book that she said saved her life. And 10 years have passed and he's not written anything. And so he's asking for contestants to come to Clock Island where he is. And if they can solve riddles, they will win a coveted prize. Well, the coveted prize is the manuscript to the new book that he's written. It was fun, mystery, trying to figure out what was going on. Some of them I did figure out, and others I had no clue what they were. The ending was definitely a surprise. It was whimsical, it was magical, and it made me think of being a kid and picking up a good book for the first time and how you just dived into that world and you wanted more and you couldn't get enough of it. And that's kind of how I felt with this book, and I did enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars, and this is my strawberry on my ice cream sundae. Next was some toppings on your ice cream. And once again, I couldn't be happy with just one topping. I had to have 2. And so I read 2 books for this one. One of them gives you sprinkles. Who doesn't like sprinkles on their ice cream? And that was the shortest book in your book of the month. And I read Blacktop Waistline by S.A. Cosby. I am loving S.A. Cosby. In fact, I've got his latest book on hold, and I'm going to pick it up today, and I can't wait to read it because I have loved everything I have read by him. In this one, Bo, who is known as Bug, was once the fastest getaway car driver, but he's trying to leave that world behind. He doesn't want to do that anymore, and so he settled down and become a husband and a father and a mechanic at his own shop. But his financial situation is not good. So he decides to do one more job, just one more job, and he'll get enough money from that job and everything can go back to normal and be okay. Of course, nothing is as easy as it sounds, and it wasn't. Things go from bad to worse, and Bug tries to do what's right for his family. It's a story about race and greed and family and friendships and forgiving. It's action-packed. There's some violence in it, but it's definitely worth the read. And I gave it 4 stars. And this gives me my sprinkles on my ice cream sundae. And finally, the last topping that I wanted, because how can you have an ice cream sundae without a cherry on top? So for that book, I read What Lies in the Woods. And the reason you get a cherry is it was read a book with a red little logo. And this one was red, and so that's why I picked up this one, What Lies in the Woods. This is a very haunting thriller. It's about 3 11-year-old girls, all from different backgrounds, who become friends, and they love to play this game when they're kids in the woods that they call the Goddess Games. Unfortunately, there is an event that occurs when they are 11 that changes the course of their lives. Now it's 22 years later, and one of the girls involved in the incident wants to come clean about what really happened when Naomi was stabbed 17 years ago, and they sent a man to prison. The other girls do not want to come clean, and they're trying to prevent her from doing so. So we follow the events, and we see what happens when these girls who are good friends start growing apart and secrets come out. It's a thrilling, kind of a scary, creepy story to me, and it did kind of keep me up a few times thinking about it, so it might keep you up at night. What Lies in the Woods, and that gives me my cherry on top, and I gave this one 4 stars. So you can see I had some really good Book of the Month reads. So let's look at my ice cream sundae. I'm very proud of my ice cream sundae, okay, y'all? Got mine. And if you read 6 prompts, 6 books, you got 3 scoops, 3 large scoops. So here's my waffle bowl. Remember, I got chocolate and vanilla and the strawberry topping, the hot fudge topping, the sprinkles, and of course the cherry on top. So there's my build your own sundae for Ketchup A Thon. I am tickled that I was able to read all of these books. And the main thing I'm tickled about is I loved them all. Everything was either a 4 or 5 star. There were nothing that I didn't finish, nothing that I rated a 3, 2, or 1. 4 and 5 star books. The favorite one of all of these fell on the floor. So let me pick it up. Was She Started It. That's my favorite one from this group of books. So like I said, for the month of July, I read 12 books, and I'm tickled with that. So now it's time to move on to August and see what's next. And if you know of any other challenges, any other challenges like this, I'd love to know about them, because I really had fun with this challenge. And it did make me read some books that I've had on my shelves that I really needed to read, and it made me do that. So thanks for watching. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for joining. If you've been here a while with me from the beginning, then I appreciate your loyalty to my channel. Please share it with your friends, like this video, and stay tuned as I continue reading and sharing books with you. Have a great day.